what you're looking at is the two different possibilities of XRP price popping. Yes, there are two different options, and I definitely believe this is going to happen. Why? If you actually go through looking at all these documents, the primary thing is they start that document after saying this. Now remember, this document is not for you and me. That is for the wealth management division that's handling a ton of money for the wealthy guys of the world. So how do they start this? Digital assets, the ecosystem. Beauty is not in the eye of beholder. So here in the image, they're showing you Bitcoin and showing you different variations of how people interpret that value. Now that's where when they actually push us into this range, I'm like, wow, that's huge. Why? Because here, when they show you the public blockchain, the first one is Ripple or XRP. The XRP ledger is what they call as a public blockchain, which is the next generation decentralized platform. Now, yes, that's from Goldman Sachs, but when you actually go into something like this from the JP guys, you can actually see the JP, you will actually see a different standard being set. They're actually talking about Ether. It doesn't sound really good. So you do have this narrative playing out, but you can understand they're using this for the payment mechanism, trying to push this through, even though it doesn't really work. But what's more important for all of us is like the time of how this is going to happen, when this is going to happen. And to put this into the perspective, you need to know what's going to happen with XRP ledger, where a ton of value is going to come onto this asset. That's when you actually see there is a massive use case, so the value should pop higher. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Before we jump into the details, please do smash that like button for me. I appreciate that a lot. Now, here, Flip the Chain actually highlight the fact that tokenization. Now, there's a video from David Shaw's giving you the idea about tokenization on XRP ledger shall start in a year and a half in the real world. So it is kind of like, wow, that means a lot for the XRP as an asset, because once you see massive value being moved onto the ledger, that does mean something is going to happen. And when you put that into the perspective of how the real actual market, financial market, is looking at these as investment possibilities, that becomes more and more interesting. Now, when you actually go through the utility and understand on how this is starting and where this is going on, that kind of gives you a lot of clear idea that, yeah, this is headed in the right direction. Because yes, it is true, and I strongly believe this is the case when Stidas actually points this out. I agree with him. Why? This is a real life example of a business saying that if RippleNet is removed, we will go out of business. You have to understand that's a real life use case for an asset. Now that's on the payment mechanism side. This is on the tokenization, where the entire world is going to be on. They're going to be on there soon. There is no doubt that's going to happen, because once you understand the macro, now we are looking at all that is happening around the globe. The FX market is having trouble. Japan is like, okay, we may not actually prop up the dollar because we have to hold on to our currency. Then you get China saying something same with the CBDC kind of thing. So the idea here is broad. You're actually watching the world changing so quickly right now. It was super slow last time when we were discussing about this, but right now things are accelerating fast. Let's actually look at this document. This is from another institution where they are actually discussing about the digital asset revolution, preparing for the next generation financial market. We have been discussing about this for a long period of time in different articles, different stuff. Now, these are what you're watching about what these big guys, after their research and development team put in a ton of effort, come out with. So Let's zoom in on that. We're actually taking you through different ideas. Wait, first, digital asset has the potential to alter the role of traditional financial services and its intermediaries. We know that. Then come here. Tokenization of mutual funds will simplify administration and servicing. It's like the back end cost. If you look at DTCC, the back end transaction there was like $1.2 quadrillion. That's a huge sum of money we are talking about, and that's in one institution. That's something big. Now, digital asset exchanges will take on roles previously held by brokers and custodians. This is not a crypto guy coming out and saying, yeah, boom, 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 this is going to happen. See that? This is someone on the traditional industry looking at what they should do to adapt for this future. They all understand this. Do you think the Goldman Sachs, the JP Morgan, and all these guys are going to put a ton of money and effort preparing all this just for namesake? I really don't think so. When you actually look at some of this, you understand, okay, Solana is a challenger to Ether. Then yeah, if you actually look at this properly, Algo, decentralized app platform aiming to be fast, secure, decentralized. So you can literally go on there, build on different apps. Great. When you come on to Ether, what do you actually see? I would say Algo is a competitor, direct competitor for Ether. And that's one of the reasons why it is getting hammered in the markets with the SEC, the case, all this crap. But you understand the fact. If one institution is kind of moving towards the North Korea side, which is JP Morgan going to the Ether, the other is actually going to different institutional grade products, in which Ripple is the top one for payments. Then you look at Algo for, decentralized app building. So you do have multiple others looking for something different here. But all of this is huge. ICP is something which I'm personally a little bit surprised to watch here, because I have traded that asset, but not to that depth of a long-term asset as an investment. Now, when you actually look at all this, and now if you really want to actually go through this document, there's a lot happening. If you want to cover through that, it's actually interesting, because when they highlight about payments, they do talk about Coinbase using XRP instead of Bitcoin, right? Along with the stablecoin USDC. That kind of gives you the idea. And then they actually take you through the court case, which is happening at that time. We didn't have the clarity. Now that is solved. And if this is to recreate now, you know what they are going to say. Because back then they were saying, okay, we are waiting for this. Once this is actually completed, you will get to know how things are going to move. So they're actually talking about how different countries are moving towards this ecosystem. We believe the regulatory risks are high and complex across all major countries. And that's where XRP right now has a huge clarity in one of the biggest market of the world. Remember, guys, last time when you ran up like this, the short move up, not a big extended rally, that was because we didn't have clarity there and we were getting screwed by the SEC. Exchanges were delisting us. We didn't get the volume. Right now, it's different. That's going to be huge. And that's why I'm saying beauty of these assets, digital assets, is not in the eye of beholder. So if someone else comes out there and says something, you need to actually take your time and then try and educate yourself. Because when you go into the market, you need to actually understand something huge is happening. Remember, we talked about this. This is a different possibility on the macro side. And what happened? The price broke down like that. Then we followed up with this, saying, watch for this, guys. Each time gold has done this, each time in last 2-3 years, crypto was bouncing off. In 2021, we saw a major rally and we popped and topped out with gold. That was something to watch, like 2-3 months of proper rally. Great. So when you actually look at a lot of these, you kind of get the idea where we are headed. One of the most interesting part when I'm looking at the XRP chart on a daily and then the Bitcoin on a 4-hour is like, okay, both of them are showing you inverse head and shoulder, which usually shows a reversal signal. So on Bitcoin, that's on a 4-hour, that's a short-term pattern. You're not looking for a macro reversal. Whereas for XRP, this is happening on a daily chart. It's more like short to medium term, next 3 to 6 months. You're watching for some reversal. Which direction are we actually going to go? We need to look at that. Because we did talk about this possibility of a double bottom in the group on right time, so you guys actually know what's going to happen. And now, if you are not familiar with the line chart, you can also use the candlestick. It's okay. Just there's a lot more noise there. If you want to get the proper things on different assets, we are going through, the Ask for TA session where we're going through a ton of requests and updating all of them on the right time. So if you are looking for any of those to give you the proper advantage, look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. Now, jumping back onto this. When these kind of movements happen, yes, the price do move up. You will get some volatility, a retest of this range, and then bounce off. So it won't be like a magic candle to the upside. So once you understand that the market does all of this thing, you need to then ask the question like, okay, I understand all this. I kind of get this. So what are these possibilities? One is like a 20x, which is not small. Another one goes through the sky, which is like, talking about a $200 XRP or another $10 to $15 XRP. In both cases, the price, the target is way higher than where we are right now. So those people who are getting depressed, those people who are getting emotionally uncomfortable with this asset need to think about the future. Because if you buy something to make money, you should buy that when the price is low. And to make money, you need to sell that when the price is sky high or when it is overvalued. That is what happens each and every time, whether it's on the short-term narrative, whether it's on the macro, you can follow them up. Once you get onto that, that's where your advantage point is. You need to take profit. Make sure you have the profits booked. Not the 100% of XRP, because at some point it's going to blow off and you really don't know how high it can actually go. So you need to keep averaging to the upside when you're taking profit. When you buy, you average to the downside. So when you want to sell, you need to do the opposite. There is no doubt in that. So if you want help in doing something like that, and a lot of different assets in this market where they are popping, say, yeah, Holo, we had a call saying, watch this one. It's about to break higher. It's already starting to move. So we are watching a lot of reversals, which we posted there earlier, happening right now, which is great. If you are positioned well enough, some of these are actually going to pop and you're going to make a lot of profit. So if you want to get a taste of that, again, the link is given in the description below. So guys, if you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do consider doing that. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.